Hello and welcome to Sandy Bay. So in this video I'm going to be going over alfalfa and clover. I'm going to be showing you what it's for, how to make it in the different forms, so in the fresh form, in the hay form, and obviously in the silage form. I know there's a lot of questions out there and not much information about the maize plus forage extension, so I thought I'd give it a go and try and show you just what I've learned. I'm definitely not an expert at it, but I have played about and I've obviously learned quite a few things by doing that. So hopefully if you're watching this you can find some answers and you can decide whether you want to do alfalfa, clover, and then going forward in my Let's Plays I'll be doing maize and whole crop anyway, so we'll go through it then. Right, so what I've got in front of me right now is the different bales of alfalfa. So from left to right, this is alfalfa natural state, so fresh alfalfa. The reason why you do fresh alfalfa in the game is purely to sell it if you were going to do a bale. There's no reason to do, it doesn't go in any feed or anything as a fresh form, from what I can tell. This is the hay bales, so this is your alfalfa hay in square bale and then in a round bale format. There isn't too much difference. You can just see it's got probably a darker tinge to the hay than it has in the fresh bale. So the reason you'd be doing alfalfa hay is for cows, sheep and horses, so they have it in their feeds. And then over here is a round bale of silage alfalfa. So there's obviously lots of equipment in here, and I'm going to try and go through it best I can. I think we'll start off with doing some mowing. To harvest alfalfa, basically you're going to be using a mower. There's no other reason why you'd use anything else. You can't even really use the forage harvester, which I'm going to show you. It just goes in as whole crop silage. So I've tried everything on that. There's no way you can do it, even if you use a different attachment on the front just to pick it up. Every time it's going to turn into whole crop silage. Yeah, so you've got to use a mower. If you try and use the forage harvester with the mulcher, I call it, the attachment on the front that's basically going to batter it up and then send it through the pipe into a trailer on the back of your forage harvester or at the side of your forage harvester, it's going to go in as whole crop silage. I will show you just so you can see for yourself. And if you also use the attachment that obviously picks up windrows and then sends it through the pipe into a trailer, that also is going to go in your trailer as whole crop silage. So the only way to do it is by using a mower. So we'll just go down once more. That should be enough then. The only way that I've found to pick it up, which I'm going to show you as well, is by making a windrow and then going over with a loading wagon. So if you're trying to make fermented alfalfa in a pit, so you've got two types on your silage, you can do it in a pit and you can also do it as a bale. So if you're going to do it in a pit, the only way to do that is by going over it with a pickup wagon and picking it up. Right, so you've seen me cut the alfalfa over there. These are the windrows of the same exact thing. And what I'll do now is I'll go over with some equipment and we'll show you what you can do. First things first, I'm going to go over with this just to confirm to everyone that obviously it doesn't work and you can see it for yourself. So what I've got on the front of this now is an attachment that will basically mow it up as if I was going to make like whole crop or fresh silage or in a clamp basically. So if you can see in the bottom right now it says whole crop silage, and if you pick it up with the other attachments from a windrow, it will say the exact same thing. So that's that clarified, at least. So what we'll do first is we'll pick up the windrow and we'll make a bale of silage. It's really straightforward, obviously. And like I said, this is the only baler that you can use to make silage wrap bales of alfalfa or clover. So there you go, silage alfalfa, 4,000 litres, and it's telling you that it's got 48 hours to go until it's fermented. So let's say you want to make some silage instead of a bale and you want to put it in a pit. This is the only way I found it to be able to do it. So you'd be picking it up in a wagon, a loading wagon like this, and you can see it says Alfalfa Windrow. That's enough for what I need. So what I'll do is I'll jump now quickly to the pit that I've got up at Sandy Bay, and then you can see me putting it in there. Right, so I'm at the pit and I'm just going to quickly put this small amount in here. And then what we'll do is we'll just start rolling it. And you can already see that it's obviously alfalfa by the colour of it. And it says there like 2,967 litres, and obviously I'm compacting it really quickly. I mean, it's the tiniest amount of silage ever, but it's just to show you. There you go. So obviously that'll start fermenting, and that's how you make alfalfa silage in a pit. Pretty much just pick it up with a loading wagon, take it there. Right, so I've shown you obviously how to make the silage for the alfalfa, so now I'm going to show you how to make the hay. It's actually pretty straightforward. It's nothing too complicated about it. So from the bit that I've mowed there, what we're going to do is we're going to go over it with a tedder. Right, so to turn the alfalfa on the ground into dried hay, alfalfa, unlike in seasons where you'd ted it if it was lower than 20%, higher than 20% moisture, sorry, and then you'd have to leave it to dry on the ground, and then you can windrow it. In this, all you have to do is go over it with a tedder. A bit like in the vanilla game without seasons for grass. If you go over it with a tedder, it turns instantly into the hay. So that's all you have to do to dry it out and to turn it into alfalfa hay. Right, so that's that. Dried up. And then at that point you can obviously windrow it. And you can use a normal baler, so you don't have to use this round baler for clover and alfalfa. You can use a standard baler that's already in the game to make square bales with, so we'll use this one, but also if you want to make round bales you can just use a standard round baler, or you can even use that round baler, so it really doesn't matter what you do. So I'll just quickly show you that and we'll make a square bale. Ignore that first bale. So I think that'll do. So there you go, you've got an alfalfa hay bale from a normal baler, square baler. Pretty straightforward. I kind of picked up the alfalfa fresh before I started, so that was the first bale to pop out. So it's, like I said, really simple, really straightforward. You want to make alfalfa, you need, for a lot of it's for the cows. The hay is going to be for cows, sheep and horses, and your fresh is pretty much to sell it, and then silage alfalfa, only the cows consume that. So if you need to make silage, you're pretty much going to put it in a pit by picking it up with a loading wagon, or if you're going to make hay, then you're obviously going to use the tedder to dry it out after you've mowed it, and then you're obviously going to pick it up with a baler, any type of baler you want, and that's how you make the hay. Really straightforward. Right, so what I'll do now is I'll move over to clover. Right, so I'm now in field number 11, and this is a field full of clover, fully grown, as you can see. And these are the bales. So from left to right, you've got silage clover there, and then you've got fresh clover, and you've got your clover hay in round bales, and your clover hay in square bales. So you can see the difference between the fresh and obviously the hay. It's a lot lighter than the clover. Looks really green, that does. So feeding wise, if you're doing fresh clover, that goes to the cows and sheep and pigs. If you're doing hay, that goes to cow and sheep, and if you're doing the silage version of clover, it goes to cows and sheep. So you've obviously got a lot more options than the alfalfa with the clover. Right, so the clover works exactly the same as the alfalfa. So we're just going to mow a bit now. Probably I'll go up and down once. Should be enough for what we need. I'll show you silage bale. I'll show you picking it up in the loading wagon. I won't take it to the clamp, just to show you that it's obviously, you know, fermented in there. It's the same. You can't pick it up with a forage harvester. You have to pick it up with a loading wagon, and that's basically the only way to put it into a clamp and ferment it. Clover silage is a baler. That's exactly the same as alfalfa, so you have to use that baler there. It's provided. And hay, pretty much exactly the same. You dry it with tedder, and then you can use a normal baler to make square bales or round bales. So first thing we'll do is we'll windrow some. So the only thing I will say keep in mind in this is, like, in seasons when you're trying to do hay, you have to find the perfect drying conditions. Obviously, if you're doing alfalfa or clover, you know, you don't have to keep that in mind now. You can just go as if you were playing without seasons and pretty much crack on with it. So we'll do a silage bale first. So there you go, you've got a bale of silage clover, just as simple as that. And then what I'll quickly do is I'll just pick some up in here so it shows you that it will actually pick up the clover to put in the pit. So as you can see, it's filling up with clover. So then obviously you go and take it to your clamp, and then you can ferment it and you can use it from there. So again, really simple, really straightforward. Nothing too complicated about these two crops. There really isn't. I think the main thing what people will find is what should they be making for what feed and what mix and all that kind of stuff. The mixing ratios are obviously a lot more difficult now, or more complex, let's say. But yeah, like I said, clover's probably your best bet. You get a bigger range of what it's used for. You can sell it, but obviously you can use the fresh product, you can use this hay, and you can use the silage. Alfalfa, sorry, the fresh product you're not going to really do much with except sell it. So as you can see, that's the texture of the dried clover. Kind of looks a bit greyish. So yeah, it's definitely darker. It's like the colour's been taken out of it a bit more. Right, so we're just going to make a square hay bale of clover, just to quickly show you. And there you go, clover hay. Really simple, really straightforward. Nothing too complicated about that at all. with alfalfa and clover. Hopefully it helped you, hopefully it was informative. It's only a small video, but it's just to, if anyone's got any questions and wanted to search and find a video that helped them, you know, with the alfalfa or the clover, hopefully this did. Like I said, there's nothing too complicated about it. So thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. See ya.